This is during the narrative in the NFL that the running back position is losing its value because nobody outplays their second contract. They only play their first contract. Mm-hmm. So is there a level of you taking that personal? Did you talk to like an Austin Eckler?
Because I want Hughes was around that same time when all that stuff was going on, right?
He was him, Derek, Austin. There was a handful of other guys that were like, these guys obviously have high production. There was, because at this point in time, there was only one guy in the NFL who got a second contract that outperformed his first contract, and that was Derrick Henry.
Yep. Because Todd Gurley and Zeke, they was like,
every running back went downhill. So to pay him a premium was a bad business move at the time, which I'm sure was playing a huge factor with the higher ups of the Raiders.
Yeah, and I get that, but it's like, okay, if that's the case, I barely played in college. Don't have that trail. Don't have that tread at all. You feel me? So like, and then when I get into the league, it's like, okay, you can say that, but I'm still the youngest guy doing it. Mm-hmm. I'm the youngest. Like I just turned 27. This is my 7th year. This is gonna be my 7th year in the NFL.
Could you imagine being your first year in the NFL and like can't buy a drink? Like
literally,
you can't. Be like, hey Josh, you want to go to the club? Can't.
Yeah.
I couldn't even rent a car. I couldn't get a rental. I swear, I couldn't even. I'm like, bro, I got all this money, I can't get a rental. I'm like, what the hell?
That is funny.
Literally.
Yeah. 27 years old, 7 years in the league.
Yep.
And now it seems like you, along with Derek, along with Austin, like a lot of you guys have changed.
Saquon.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Obviously, a huge piece.
Yeah.
Like you guys have essentially changed the narrative in the NFL that the running back position needs to be more valued than it is now.
Bro, it's coming full circle. Mm-hmm. Like it's literally coming full circle. You seeing guys start to get paid. Like I keep telling everybody, Jameer and Bijan, like whatever they get is like how you gonna know what the market really is, because those are guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the thing, what I was trying to tell the Raiders is, it's not too many guys. It's only about really like 6 to 8 guys, like that you really, I would say you can't really replace what they do. And I felt like I was one of those guys. You feel me? So I'm like, you can't put me in a category with a running back that has never had 1,000 yards in the season. You can't put me in these other categories you trying to put me in with guys that's never finished the whole season. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that. I'm like, we got to be talking at a whole different playing field.
Yeah.
And that was one thing that we was trying to push. That was like a narrative that we was trying to push, but it played out how it was supposed to.
Were you guys ever, and there was like rumors going around about the running back starting their own kind of like PA. Was that ever a real thing?
Yeah, we all did. But the problem is, bro, is just the simple truth, bro. Like a lot of guys are selfish. And that's really what it could, like, we got on that call and it was a lot of guys on the call. It was a lot of guys that didn't get on the call. Mm. And it felt like it was only 2 or 3 of us talking the whole time. Everybody else really had nothing to,
You were one of the vocal guys in that conversation?
Yeah, because I was being honest about what I was being told. You know what I'm saying? Like, because one thing about me, man, it's enough money out here for everybody. And I want to see everybody win. So like for me, I'm telling them like, look, this is what they saying for me. This is what they saying. Like me and Saquon sending texts back and forth. What you hearing from here? What you hearing from here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we basically like, look, this is the market. And I'm like, man, look, I'm up here with this dude. You gonna have to pay me up here with this dude, regardless of what any kind of contract look like. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that like me and him talked a lot about, but the guys did, but nobody stuck to it. Like I remember Austin Eckler was talking, Joe Mixon was talking, and we was like, guys, like, okay, are we all not gonna show up to camp? Like, is that something that we all agreed on? A lot of people talked about it, or we not signing. Everybody was like, we not gonna sign. Dude signed 3 days later. I'm like, that bro, like
in the conversation,
bro. I promise, bro. And it was, I'm not gonna out nobody, but like it was a dude that was talking and literally signed the next week. I'm like, so I already knew, like I said, like I knew it was gonna break down, because without unity, you ain't gonna have nothing. We ain't got no leverage. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I mean,
even at the macro level with the NFLPA, it's like when you're trying to get things shifted in the CBA and being at the meetings and everything else, like you see where it's still like, bro, divided.
Nothing will ever get changed in the NFL, because the people for our like top guys to our lower guys, it's such of a big margin that nothing will ever change. Because if I'm a guy that's making $500,000 a year and I'm like scraping to get that. It's like you can't tell me a guy that's making 10, 20 million a year to be like, yeah, bro, we don't need to play football this year. He gonna be like, I need to play football this year. You know what I'm saying? So like, they understand that they got that leverage. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's only maybe 2 or 3% of the guys is making over, 12 million a year in the NFL.
Yeah.
And everybody else is, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're not going to ever win that.
Yeah.
And when they dangle like signing bonuses, like I want to say when the CBA stuff was happening, there was like $100,000 signing, like little bonuses or something. It's just, you're right. It's like the guys that need it that year. It's like, hey, I get that you might be straight for the next several years, but my ass, like, I need this.
I got to play.
I
got bills.
It's the carrot on the stick technique, dude. You just put a dangle a little bit in front, and then the majority of the guys are going to move because you're right, 2-3%.
Yep.
I feel like the closest a moment that was almost changing it was Kirk Cousins when he got the fully guaranteed contract. I think that's what put a lot of guys at pause. And everyone was like, okay, if this needs to happen, then quarterbacks need to start doing this. And it felt like it was about to happen. But then I think you're right, greed gets in the way. It truly, for the NFL to change the way they go about paying everybody, it would take a full generation of NFL players to essentially bend the knee and say, I'm going to make less money so the future can have more money.
We needed you to do it.
I wouldn't.
Ain't nobody gonna do it. Ain't nobody gonna do it.
Because you're talking about like selfish guys. I'm thinking to myself in 2018, I'm like, I have the opportunity to be the highest paid guy. And my guarantee was, 60, 70% of my contract. I was like, and I think you even brought it up to me like,
because I was telling you about Kirk.
You're like, hey, if you hold out for this, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking to myself, fuck that. That sounds awesome. Somebody else will be that hero.
Yeah, somebody else will be the guy.
Now I'm sitting in a garage. So
I feel like if a lot more quarterbacks actually got on that train to be like, yeah, we not playing, the NFL changed a lot faster too.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like Kirk Cousins does his thing and he gets whatever 180 or whatever.
Whenever he went to Minnesota.
Whenever he went to Minnesota. And then like you see like Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys, their contracts. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is what, $500 million?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like
it was when he signed.
The numbers are so astronomical. It's like you can't how do you say, and like what's guaranteed? 250, like 50% of the contract?
Who's the last person to get fully guaranteed? Deshaun Watson?
No, Deshaun. I think Deshaun had like 80.
Nah, Deshaun got fully guaranteed when he went to the Browns.
270
to the Browns.
Guaranteed?
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the Browns fucked that up big time, right?
Yeah.
I feel bad saying that, Deshaun, but like,
because it's like you got the top guys who will get the fully guaranteed. You also need that level of play to be there to also solidify guys getting the guaranteed.
Because that's an example where it's like he gets the fully guaranteed and then he doesn't obviously have the production
right. So then
teams
have that. Yeah.
So teams are like, this is exactly why we don't do this.
Do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it sucks, man. It sucks. Obviously, like a lot of people watching the show are like, yeah, I wish I could get $500,000 a year, or whatever it is, or $950, whatever the minimum is for a vet guy. But massive changes have to happen. Massive sacrifice has to happen for change to happen.
For sure.